Hey everybody, my name's Joe.
I'm also Joe.
Welcome back to SNES's Life. The Duel, Test Drive 2. So Test Drive 1 was a game that was released for like Amiga and computers and other stuff, but not Nintendo. So I don't know, for whatever reason they chose to put number 2 on Super Nintendo, but that's alright. What do you think of that front box art?
I think it's a bit weird. I mean, it's two cars racing.
Well, it's a duel. It's the Duel. You're racing another car. I don't know. The speed lines are a bit heavy, exaggerated, but that's okay. I think the front artwork looks okay. I'm on board. Let's have a look at the back. Yoop. So the back of the box. Leave the competition. Just a blur in the mirror. Red line a Lamborghini. Speed shift a Porsche. Spin on a Ferrari. Engines roar and cop sirens wail. Race head-to-head against computer or against the clock. That's a troublesome line. Race against a computer or the clock. It's a racing game.
Is it a...
It's specifically called The Duel. Why is it not 2 players?
I'm also confused. When it says against a computer opponent or against the clock, does it... Is that the same thing? Like there's a timer
My guess is
aspect
there's
to it? Or is it like a
usually against
time
the clock.
trials and...
Yeah, usually against the clock is a time trial thing. 4 different skill levels, 4 scenarios, fine-tune the car, blah, 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 blah. Original version of the Test Drive Duel, designed and developed by Distinctive Software. We got our 4 1-inch screenshots here. You got 3 screenshots of in the car driving and 1 of what looks like the level select screen. And again, I am immediately worried. The last game we played with a cockpit view like this was race driving.
There's shifters.
There are other cars on the screen, so that's good.
Each car is different. There are 3 different cars.
I didn't notice that, but you're right. There's 3 different insides of the car there.
Top 2 have a gear shift. I don't know what the bottom left one is.
Yeah, bottom one doesn't look like it does. I don't know. Having played race driving, I am very tentative on whether or not I trust this game based on box art. But we do actually have a manual for this damn thing, which shocked me. I was surprised I could find a manual for it. We got our good table of contents. It's only a 12-page manual. Here, a little introduction. It's a daydream. Race the Ferraris and blah, blah, blah. How to drive. Your shoulder buttons are shift up and down. X is a horn. A is throttle, otherwise known as gas. And B is your brake. Y does not do anything. Start, pauses, and unpauses the game during a race or advances through screens. Start to pause, then select plus X button to quit. So you can quit in the middle of a race, which I guess is convenient. This explains all the menus. You can set your difficulties, whether you have an auto shifter or a manual shift. You can change your stereo or mono sound. Then you get to select from your 3 cars. You get to select your opponent. You get to select some scenery, which is your level select, I guess. Tells you about your high score. Explains the things on your cockpit view is what it calls it. Rearview mirrors. How to duel. This is kind of how to drive. Routes. There are 5 different sub-routes. Desert Blast, 6 in City Bound, 7 in East. So there's 4 different level selects for like terrain, and then in there's a bunch of different levels, which that's kind of cool. It tells you obviously how to accelerate. You have 5 lives you start with. Less than the car gets, but still pretty good. You lose life every time you crash, blow an engine, or run out of gas. In auto shift mode, you gain life if you average 120 miles per hour or better in a section of the race. You're given a 20-second penalty each time you crash, blow an engine, or run out of gas. Obstacles on the side of the road will damage your car. If you continually drive over them, your car will be damaged beyond repair. You'll lose a life. There are cops. If you have a radar detector in your car. So if you see a blinking that a cop's coming, you need to slow down or outrun the cop. I guess that's kind of your choice. When you see a blue sign with a gas pump on it, start thinking about filling up. When you see the stop sign, And the gas station is on the right-hand side of the road. Brake to stop as close to the gas station as possible. So you have to stop and get gas. That's interesting. Explains the score screens, how to get on there. On the second player controller, you can press L and R to go to a customization screen where you can change your auto shift. This is during the race. You can change the raise or lower the suspension of the car, change the drag and brake and acceleration coefficients, which are interesting. Change the G-force, the scrub rate. I don't really know what any of that means. I mean, it explains it on here, but I'm not going to explain it. So, and that's it. There is one little screenshot right there. There's no artwork. It's a very bland manual. I don't care for it. Not at all. But nonetheless, that's where we're at. Go ahead and find the game and get us in there, and we'll see how this goes.
I guess I'm first.
You're first. Shouldn't be a first. It's a freaking racing game. It ought to be 2 players. Really? The
No.
the volume is not. It's not running audio off the capture device. All right, let's dump the capture device and try and reboot it. Damn thing. Nope, of course not. Why would it? This thing bounced somewhere else. Retro arch. Good God. There's one. Dump that out. It's a real pain in the nuggets. And still no sound. That's going to piss me off something fierce. Let me... You know, I knew when the power flickered earlier and the internet died on us, we were just set for a bad night. Yep. I know. It's painful. And still nothing. Why? Why would you do this to us? You damn machine. I wonder if I can reboot.
I'm sure it did it on purpose.
It did. It did. It absolutely did. It hates us. I don't know if it'll reboot with OBS trying to hold it, but we'll try. See how it goes.
Well, it's definitely picking up sound there.
Agreed. Alright, well maybe now it'll... Maybe that'll have rebooted it in here. There it goes. Now it looks really quiet. That's alright. There's the cop. Okay, there we go. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the menu music's pretty good. So that's your difficulty. I don't know. Yeah, stick with that.
You can turn the music off. I don't know why you would.
Yeah, for real.
I guess play.
Yeah, indeed. You pick your car. If you scroll down, you'll see some more stuff. A lot of things that don't mean a lot of things, but... 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. That one's over 4 seconds. Again, under. Can you imagine going from 0 to 100 in 8 seconds? So you get to pick your opponent, and what car they're driving, or the clock if you want to do time trials.
A's go, right?
Yeah, and so here you got your different terrains. And then the thing said city bound and East Coast and West Coast, I think, had like a bunch of different levels. But I would stick with desert for now. Let's just do the easy course. Alright, so there's your opponent behind you. You do not have... oh, that is a shifter. It's the knob with the bag. It doesn't actually tell you what gear you're in. The top left is your radar detector. Under that is a couple of dots. That is red for you, or red for your opponent. White is you because you're the white car.
Under where?
Over there on, see your radar detector?
The top left thing?
Yeah, there's a red and white dot under it. And those will progress across the screen as you go. Horn, brake, pause. There you go. And you're going. Yeah, it does look, you're shifting, it's just the bag. That's kind of funny looking. Again, cardinal sin of all games that are video games that aren't active. They didn't put the music in the freaking game. Just in the menu, which is... it irritates me, really. Alright, so hear the chirping?
Yeah.
That means there's a cop. Yep. He's going. Go. Just gun it. He stopped. So you guys are driving towards that red square in the middle of your top screen. I don't know if that's a gas station or the end of the race or just a leg of it or what. It didn't really explain that. I think the cop got you.
It wasn't letting me go anymore.
Oh, you ran out of gas. Huh. Okay. Distance 2 miles. You won that round. You're winning the game. Press a button. Okay. I'm not really sure what occurred there in the end. It both said you ran out of gas and that you won. So you reached the red thing on the top of your screen, so maybe you got to the end of that part of the race, so it stopped it. But I don't understand why I said you ran out of gas. Also, do you have a gas gauge?
I don't know.
Nah, just gun it. Screw the cops. I mean, the... Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, speedometer, tachometer, gear shifter. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about a gas gauge. Starting at the left side of the screen, red gas pump icon, which is the thing up there in the middle of your screen. That's the finish line of that leg of the race. So yeah, that's it. I'm sad. Are you sad? I'm not impressed. I assume you're not impressed. I don't know how it controls, but
Doesn't control bad.
yeah. winning the game, for whatever that means. I like that your opponent used his turn signal in your rearview mirror. I could see him. Run over a motorcyclist when you get a chance, just to see what it does. I don't know if it'll wreck your car, if it'll like toss them off to the side. My bet is it'll probably just wreck your car. Yep. Yeah, it wrecked you.
Nice.
It's interesting you have to redline it before it shifts into starting. I kind of like the yellow dot on the steering wheel so you know when you're at center.
I didn't even notice that.
The
It automatically pulls back to center.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most cars will. At least a little. I don't like the bag shifter because the knob moves, but there's no stick. And the bag doesn't move. It's a stock image. Looks bad. Yeah, I like, yeah, when you get away from the cop. I mean, according to that, you're going 240, 300. You're probably doing like 270. I don't know if that's miles an hour or kilometers an hour. For the European-made cars, it's measured in kilometers. What car are you driving? Porsche? That's a European car, so we were doing like 270. Oh, so you're only going 160 miles per hour. Go faster, it's only a game. Again, you ran out of gas, it says. Oh ho ho, tee hee hee hee. Oof.
I mean, look, it's better than race driving.
I mean, that's a low bar. It really is. And I don't know that it's good enough to still be... I mean, it's more of a game than race driving, but just barely, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's like if you took Top Gear and race driving and they had a mediocre child.
I don't want to be that mean to Top Gear. I think Top Gear thinks better of itself. It could find someone better to sleep with and have children. Just saying. I'm thinking Top Gear would at least go for Mario Kart. Like, go for a popular game. It could, surely Top Gear could get a cheerleader. It would not have to settle for a member of the chess club. So was I. That's not the point.
Man, easy is really easy.
Yeah, it is. That dude's nowhere near you.
Following the speed limit.
What did he say?
Game over, man.
Oh, is that what it was? Ugh.
I don't know what that means.
You've got a high score. Thanks, I guess? Jesus.
That's a lot of characters.
It's like the whole damn keyboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just A, would you? There you go.
Wonderful. Back to the title screen.
Alright, my turn, I guess. Thanks. I guess. Jesus, I don't know if it's worth thanking you.
Like, it wasn't that bad.
Must be 202. We're gonna go with the Lambo against the Ferrari. Oh. Let's go ahead and do City Bound. God, the lack of music is just terrible, though. He's all over the road. He's a madman.
I think the hitboxes are pretty forgiving.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Cause
like, unless you know you're gonna hit it, then you probably won't hit it.
Yeah.
Like, hitting the motorcycle, it was right in the center of my screen. I was hitting that for sure. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, well, the opponent's closer to me than he was to you. Well, I don't know that counts. Ooh, spinny. Like drifted around that corner. Couldn't find the brakes. You had a clean run. Bonus car awarded. Cars left 6. I did not run out of gas. I tried finding the brakes. It took me forever to slow down. Yeah, control's not the worst.
I wish it was a 2-player game.
Yes.
For a game that is designed for you to race against someone.
That is called the Duel.
Right. Like, if this was like Top Gear where you had a whole bunch of cars you were racing against, I think it'd be different. I'd be okay with it just being single player.
Yeah, but it's just you, one other car, and then pedestrian cars.
Right.
Hey, Rob, how's it going?
Vroom.
Vroom indeed. I guess.
It doesn't give as much of a feeling as Speed.
No, it doesn't. Like, it says I'm going 250.
Any race game without music, it's just kind of...
Oh, I jumped!
I did. Anyway, like I said, any race game without music is just kind of...
Oh.
You don't get the feeling, you know?
Agreed. No music, no real sense of speed, no, well, one opponent. I had to sleep before the finish of Gemfire. What was the opinion? Actually, we both gave it a thumbs up. We decided that if we were going to try a strategy game, that one was pretty solid. It was new player and pick up and play friendly, so we were actually on board with it.
It is a super long game, though, so if you are going to play it, make sure you either have save states or...
I think all those games are super long.
A few hours.
Whether you want them to be or not.
And it has an amount of replayability because you can play the other
Scenarios.
dudes.
Yeah.
And they are difficulty settings.
I keep going airborne.
Stop going so fast over hills.
Good driving. This car can go faster. Point is, it didn't take any cars away from me.
I mean, except for when you crash.
Well, yeah, there's the crash. Believe me, I understand strategy games like that quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, we thought it was a pretty decent game. We would actually both express that we wouldn't mind playing more of it, but we did also decide that it was not worth a second day of play, just because really we got did not get terribly far in the hour we played it. And to get any distance out of that game, I think you have to commit, a really solid block of time to doing it.
Alright, look, graphics, I want to say something real quick. I don't think they're very good, but I do like the little thing that they did where they put
Jesus.
bugs on your windshield.
There's bugs on the windshield?
Yeah, have you not noticed the little splotches that appear?
I guess not. Tell me when you see one.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, indeed. I don't like the 2-lane road. It makes avoiding other cars very difficult. Doesn't help if I drive into their lane.
I mean, there's one up at the top left now.
Oh, I see a little spoosh. I guess that's a bug. Is it a bug? You think it's a bug?
Unless it's bird poop.
Ooh, it could be bird.
Because it wasn't there, and then it was, and multiple other ones appear throughout the levels. It cleaned your windshield when you crashed.
Wow. This is painful for me. It really is. It's not as painful as race driving, but boy.
I think this is a lot more tolerable than race driving. Yeah, so you have 3 of them now.
I mean, I can honk.
Yep.
Move. Oh my god. Well, that's just not fair.
You're,
I don't.
Go.
I don't want to.
You're almost done. You're almost done with the race.
I'm almost done with this section of the race.
You can't let the red dude beat you.
Is it so much to ask for a good game?
Look, I'm not going to say this is a terrible game.
Of the last...
I think what really, for me, puts, a game like Top Gear over this in such a high standard is the fact that there's a defined goal.
That it's an actual race?
Well, not even that, because this is technically an actual race.
It's a bad race.
The thing is, this is a repetitive sort of thing where you don't have an end goal.
I think there is. I think eventually you finish the legs of the race, but there's like 7 legs. And
well, yeah, but we finished all... Did I finish all the legs of my
No, you
race?
didn't. You ran out of cars because you kept running out of gas.
Ah.
You didn't stop close enough to the gas station. That's why I kept saying you ran out of gas. God, turn you. Oh my god.
Your car has no turn.
It has no grip.
My car did.
Your car did. Mine does not. My car goes faster. Anyway, so there is a defined end, but I don't know. Maybe it was more tolerable because Top Gear was a lap race, so you were actually on a racetrack instead of a never-ending road. There weren't freaking... You didn't lose lives by running out of gas or hitting other cars. I think they tried to make this a realistic driving simulator. And I'm not saying they didn't achieve that. But I don't care for their results. Better than race driving. I won't argue. It's difficult to argue that it's better, not better. I mean, it is. But I don't think it's much better.
I think it's quite a bit better. Like, graphically speaking, it's better. Sound, not so much. I don't think sound-wise it's much better than race driving. Race driving had nothing, and this has barely any more.
I mean, it looks better and it sounds better. And I suppose technically it plays slightly better. But
it plays a lot better.
I don't think it's... I don't think it's a better... I don't think it being better than race driving makes it a good game.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that at all.
It's just not good.
I'm trying to define where it stands in my view. Because is the only goal a high score? Or is there, like, an actual end to the game where it's like, congratulations, you won?
I think it's just...
The bugs hitting the windshield is an interesting touch. I agree, Dave.
I don't think it's interesting enough.
I agree with that as well, but...
let's give the computer opponent the slippy car real quick. Let's do East Coast hard.
You're gonna crash.
Yeah, for sure.
It took me a little bit to realize that that background was a mountain.
Well, that was fast.
There was a cow.
Cow. My opponent got in front of me. You rat bastard. Ooh.
That was really forgiving.
Yeah, it was. I felt for sure that I was going to hit that dude.
Cow.
Yeah, I bet if I hit a cow, it's a wreck.
I'm sure. Your chat looks messed up.
Well, I mean, it posted his thing twice.
Oh, it did.
I don't know why.
I posted it twice again.
Jesus. I got nothing, Dave. It's double posting on YouTube stuff. I got no idea. We're having issues tonight for sure. Like we had issues starting the stream. The capture card didn't want to work.
A triple posted.
Well, YouTube's having a moment, or Restream's having a moment. Maybe a little both.
I wish it had music.
Yeah, for sure.
That would put it. That would do a lot for this game, in like standings on whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
I don't think having music would make it, you know, a great game, but it would definitely be much better.
I mean, it would be better, but I just... Jesus. I guess I'm playing hard. We expect me to pretty much wreck every time. But I still am super unimpressed with it. And I don't even want to play it. That's unfortunate, really. I posted it a fourth time. Oh my god.
You're just lean.
Shut up. So what? Try hard mode. I don't. I posted it a fifth time. Clearly, Restream's having a connection with YouTube. That or Dave has copied and pasted it just to screw with us, which is not impossible. Ooh, a Mack truck. You're on a bridge driving into the water.
No.
Why not?
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I bet it just cracks your windshield and says you crashed. I bet there's not even like a sinking animation, or screen probably doesn't turn blue. A logging truck. You have died. Interesting, the yellow dot moved way over to the right. You broke your steering column.
No, the dot isn't on a fixed like interval, but the steering wheel is.
Oh, got you. Nope, you're done. So the steering's not responsive enough to avoid cars at all.
I mean, we are going ridiculously fast. I posted again.
It's been posting. Dave, I don't know, dude. Restream and YouTube are fighting. I can't fix that. I mean, I can turn it off, I guess. Where's the old chatty box? I don't want to play this anymore. And it's not entertaining seeing us be blasé about a game. Let's call this. Graphically speaking.
Not good.
It is.
I don't think it's graphically good at all.
It is mediocre at absolute best.
I think this entire game is mediocre.
Agreed.
That's just a good way to explain it.
Like, the color palettes are decent, but the art and design are just not great. Music, sound, music's great in the menu.
Although it repeats, but like you said, it's really good in the menu.
And
There is no music in the game, which is a huge letdown for every game.
that we hit,
Especially
with no
so
music.
for sports games
For
and
sure.
racing games.
Gameplay, hardly a game. I mean, I
think the game,
it's not fun.
it doesn't have enough to it. I wish it was 2 players, or at least that you got the choice.
Yeah.
And it's super repetitive.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, racing games tend to be at least moderately repetitive, but it's not.
right, but the tracks, you can't tell a difference, especially while you're driving.
It's not a track, it's just a straight road.
The
Yeah.
only difference between easier and harder modes is it throws more cars on the road.
Yeah.
That's all there is. I don't know.
I'm not impressed. I'm going to give this a thumbs down.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as you're making it out to be.
I am not entertained in the least. Fair. I mean, we've had differences of opinion, but the point is 2 thumbs down. This was not worth looking up. It is not worth going out and finding. It is not a recommendation. It is, whether it's as bad as race driving or not, it ends up in the same bin. Like, don't get it. Don't play it. It's not worth your time. That's where we're at. And Jesus, it's only 9:40, 20 minutes early. Ugh. I don't know. Considering the technical problems we've had tonight, I think we're just going to call it. I'm done. I can't. I'm so upset. I'm pissed off at the stream, the chat, the game. Nothing has made me happy now. And just abysmal. That's it, guys. I'm sorry. 2 thumbs down for Test Drive 2 the Duel. Any last words? No. We'll be back on Saturday night. Where are we at on Saturday? Jeopardy?
Sure.
I mean, what was our choices?
It was Jeopardy or a sports game.
Oh, Jeopardy or Cal Ripken baseball.
I don't have high hopes for Jeopardy.
I don't have high hopes for either of them, frankly, but let's go ahead and do Jeopardy, and then we
I
can
mean, look,
do
we've
Cal
enjoyed
Ripken
some
on
of the
Sunday.
baseball games.
Yeah, that's true. We've thumbed up some of them. Been fun. And there was one that we really liked.
Yeah, the most recent one, I believe.
No, I don't know if it was most recent, but the point is it's got potential, I suppose. That's it. We're done. Bye, everybody.